Item: SCP-1898. Codename: Non-Euclidian Playsets. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures: while in storage, all instances of SCP-1898 are to be kept deconstructed and kept in their respective boxes. All instances of SCP-1898 are to be stored in Containment Room 1898 located on site. Testing on any set S of SCP-1898-A and SCP-1898-B requires permission from 2 Level 3 personnel. Testing on a set of SCP-1898-C requires permission from 2 Level 3 personnel and 1 Level 4 personnel. MTF-Pi-31 aka Mobius strips are to be contacted if an instance of SCP-1898 is discovered. Description: all instances of SCP-1898 are construction sets that can be used to make shapes that do not follow Euclidean geometry. The contents of each set vary in materials and shapes. The sets come in 3 sizes: small, medium and large. SCP-1898-A, SCP-1898-B and SCP-1898-C respectively. The small and medium sets are constructed like puzzles and the only difference is in the size, with small sets able to build shapes up to 30 cm high and medium sets able to build shapes up to 10 meters high. The large sets are bigger than the small and medium sets and are used to construct buildings. All sets can be disassembled and reassembled into a completely different shape. The packaging of each instance of SCP-1898 varies, but all of them are named non-Euclidean dimensions by the company, which does not exist in any registry, and so far has not been located. The mechanism of how each set of SCP-1898 works is unknown. The pieces themselves are made from ordinary materials such as wood and metal, and no instructions are provided with any of the sets. During construction, the subject will put together and take apart various pieces. If asked about what they are trying to make, they will say that they are unsure. Given enough time, the subjects eventually produce a sculpture that should be impossible to make. The subjects have always insisted that they are unsure of how they managed to make it. Viewers watching the subject did not observe any abnormal behavior, despite the anomalous result. Other than the shapes being impossible, there is nothing else anomalous with them and no abnormal effects have been witnessed in subjects either during or after tests. The construction of the large sets differs slightly in the sense that large groups of people and often construction machinery are needed. However, there is always one subject that decides where all the pieces go. Houses and buildings made from large sets will have floors and furniture along the walls, looping corridors and infinite stairs. Despite gravity, people inside will be able to walk on whatever is classed as the floor and perform tasks normally. The Foundation first became aware of SCP-1898 on when Agent reported a piece of public artwork in the town of Redacted that was an impossible shape when looked at from any direction. Once confirmation had been made that it was anomalous, a retrieval team was sent to acquire the shape and learn its origin. The artist was tracked down and questioned. It was learned that he had used a non-Euclidean dimensions construction set to make the shape and then sell it onto the town. The box was retrieved and Class B amnestics were given to the artist. Since then, more instances of SCP-1898 have been found across the world. SCP-1898 testing log. Set used: SCP-1898-A4. Subject: D34578. Reason for test: initial test to determine anomalous effects of a set of SCP-1898. Result: subject proceeded to work on the pieces. 16 minutes later a non-Euclidean sculpture was made. Subject was isolated and monitored for the duration of his time before termination for any signs of anomalous properties. Conclusion: the sets are used to build non-Euclidean shapes. No anomalous properties or degradation of mental health was witnessed in the subject. Set used: SCP-1898-12 and SCP-1898-27. Subject: D-34693. Reason for test: to see if pieces from different sets could be mixed together. Result: subject proceeded to work on the pieces. 25 minutes later, the subject managed to produce a single shape that had been constructed using both sets. Conclusion: sets of the same size can be mixed together successfully. Set used: SCP-1898-8 and SCP-1898-B5. Subject: D-34694. Reason for test: to see if different sizes of sets could be mixed together. Result: subject proceeded to work on the pieces for 42 minutes. Resultant structure appeared to be a triangle that folded back on itself in such a way that allowed it to be rolled. Pieces from both sets were used. Conclusion: two sets of different sizes can be mixed together successfully. Set used: SCP-1898-C3. Subjects: D-34694, D-34695, D-34696, D-34697, D-34698, D-34699, D-34700, D-34701, D-34702, D-34703 and D-34704. Reason for test: to determine the anomalous properties of a large set. Result: subjects proceeded to construct a house with D-34698 as the one issuing orders. After 8 days, construction was finished. Conclusion: the house displayed anomalous properties such as upside-down rooms and one looping corridor. Subjects were able to walk on whatever was designated as a floor. The plumbing was fully functional and contained no unusual features to counteract gravity. Set used: SCP-1898-7 and several marked pieces that were constructed to be identical to some of the pieces in SCP-1898-7. Subject: D-346,706. Reason for test: to determine if pieces not from a set of SCP-1898 can be mixed with pieces from a set of SCP-1898. Result: the pieces that were not from SCP-1898-7 were marked with a small dot and mixed with the pieces from SCP-1898-7. Subject was not informed of the extra pieces. The subject proceeded to work on the pieces and after 7 minutes managed to build a shape that contained some of the marked pieces. Conclusion: pieces not from a set of SCP-1898 can still be used to construct non-Euclidean sculptures. Set used: a full set of identical pieces were constructed based on the material and shape of SCP-1898-7. Subject: D-346,707. Reason for test: to determine if it is the shape of the pieces that are anomalous. Result: subject proceeded to work on the pieces in an ordinary manner. Subject showed signs of confusion that were not present in other tests. After 1 hour and 12 minutes, the subject finally managed to construct a non-Euclidean shape. Conclusion: anomalous property is likely due to the shapes of the pieces. However, the subject displayed signs of confusion and it took much longer than previous tests with a small set. Addendum 1898-1. Attached SCP-1898 photographs. Go to the description if you want to see the photos. Addendum 1898-2. Even though various public artwork may look like instances of SCP-1898, that does not mean that they are. Please check the shape in question thoroughly before calling it in. We don't have the resources to be running everywhere only to find out that they are just ordinary sculptures. Dr.